So I'll deal with the smaller dollar items, especially, because I can sell on platforms like Walmart. But I know this, if all I had was eBay, I would be fine, but I would know this. I have to have my goal, my personal goal, if only eBay was my only platform, would be a 5,000 to 10,000 unit store. That would be the only way I can make the type of money that I want to make, to live comfortably and take care of my family and stuff. I would be looking for a 5,000 to 10,000 unit item store. But I will also be always trying to increase the average sale price and find items that I can sell at a higher average sale price, of course. But I will probably also be looking to sell in some other categories, but items that I could sell at a higher average sale price, right? And so, because I've even considered like doing some electronics, mixing those in. But then I'm like, well, if I do that, and especially because of like the higher return rate and just some of the issues you run into, I'm not trying to do low dollar amount electronics. That's a whole other business model. That's a whole other business model with a bunch of other types of issues. And so I'm not trying to like add to my problems. I'm not trying to add to my workload, add more customer service issues. Then you got to test the stuff like things like, so no, you got to be kind of smart about it and strategic about what you're going to do, what you're going to add. And you want to kind of like do it little by little. So if something does go wrong or something doesn't work out, you don't take a lot of your capital and move it to this. And now this ain't even working. You know what I mean? So if you do it kind of like on an item by item basis, then if it goes wrong, you can kind of absorb that mistake. But if it works out, then you can build on that. So you always want to be kind of like, you want to set the foundation. And that's what I'm doing. I'm setting my foundation. But from this foundation, I want to build other rooms onto my house, right? I want to build the house. I got the shell of my house. I got the foundation, the shell, and the walls and things. And now I want to add floors and rooms and layers to the house that I'm building. And so that's a step-by-step process, because if you move too quickly, you can kind of get yourself in a bind that you may not be able to recover from, or might be very difficult to recover from. And so I'm building it to where I got my bread and butter items. I'll sell all the smaller dollar amount units, but I'm adding higher average sell price units. I'm always looking for other sources, and I'm always testing out things to see what works best. Always work on my systems. I'm always working on my inventory systems, my shipping systems, and just always evaluating things, in the direction that I'm going and what type of items I want to sell. But if I was just doing eBay, it would have to be 5,000 to 10,000 units, items, period. 5,000 to 10,000 units, no. 5,000 to 10,000 item store, let's put it that way. Because I can have multiple units of one type of item, right? So yeah, that makes more sense. It will have to be a 5,000 to 10,000 item store. And I would want to dominate that space. I would want to dominate that space in the sense that I would look at the other competitors, and I would look at their customer service, and I would make sure my customer service was better. I would look at their items, and while I might not be able to get every single type of item they got, I would see kind of like what they're selling, and what's doing good for them, and see if I can get that, of course. And I would want to have more units, I would want to have more items in my store than them, more options for my buyers. I would want to have more options for my buyers. And there's just a flexibility in quantity that you have over a competitor that doesn't have that flexibility in quantity, right? It's the same thing with like cash. If you got good cash flow and you got some cash reserves and you just got a larger quantity and more options, you're more flexible as a business. And you can absorb more, and there's just more options for you as a business than there would be for the person who doesn't have that at all. Okay.